Hello, beautiful beings of light. It is Aurora from Translucent Truth Yoga, here to deliver you a weekly intuitive energy update. So, welcome if you have never been here before, and welcome back if you have. It has been a while. I did go MIA. There's a whole story there. But I'm not going to get into it today, because this isn't about me. And I really want to try to get this in 1 hour, because I know I can talk a lot. So I just want to start by saying that. I just want to start by saying thank you to everybody that is on my path and on my journey and that's here to help me. And that's really what this hiatus was all about. Just remembering who the fuck I am. Just like the whole point of it all, right? So anyway, the way that these energy updates work is that they are timeless readings, and so what that means is that you can come to these readings at any time, and the message that you are needing in that moment is going to be there for you. Okay, so I'm creating this bank of weekly energy updates so that you can have all this information to come to whenever you need. I really struggle to chronologically order the universe, and so this really just helps me to get it all out in each moment as we're going through it, so we're able to visit so many different energies and so many different things as we're going through them, so that hopefully you can use this as a tool to really support yourself through this process, through this healing process, through this process of life, through everything. Okay? So, I have quite the list today, and it's juicy, man. I get it. I get it all. The alignment and synchronicities of the universe, I hope, are really in your face right now, because they are for me, and it's just so beautiful. Look at the wind and say, yes, I'm here, right? Source says it's here. So anyway, there's just been so much that has gone on, and I was kind of just waiting. I was listening, and I was waiting, when is the right moment for me to start getting back into my energy updates? And last week I kind of had a feeling it was going to be this week, and it is, and it just blows my mind at why, and all the alignments and all the synchronicities. And I was like, what am I going to talk about? Do I have to recap the last bit? No, I don't. All I need to do is start right here and right now, and I have so much to talk about. So let's talk about it. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is that we just entered Leo season, okay? Now this is significant because, and when I say that, I should clarify, I am talking about the sun. The sun is in the sign of Leo, okay? So every month it shifts into a new sign. Last month we were in Gemini, which rules the mind and communication. And this month we're now in Leo, and this rules the sense of self, the ego, solar plexus energy, okay? So we're really moving from the mind into the body, okay? And so what that means is that we're really being able to access the intelligence of our body. So we've really been taught to not even know that our body has intelligence, right? We think that, we're just these meat suits that magically walk around somehow, but no, there is a rhyme and a reason to how everything works and functions, right? So we're learning how and why, why do things function the way that they do? What is the rhyme and what is the reason, right? So Leo season is really inviting us in to really unpack our self-worth. It was just 3, 4, 5. So forward movement in that Leo energy, right? And so there's so many other things that are kind of aligning to support us, and I will get into that, and you will see and understand the full picture as I go. I'm just channeling right now because I have all these notes, but here I am with all this information that wants to come through. So basically, Leo is all about our identity, okay? So that's really if you're feeling like you're going through some type of identity crisis, some type of dissolution of the ego, which means you're losing yourself, you don't know who you are, you don't have a connection to you. If that's the case, then it's going to be very, very obvious. I have this duck walking right towards me, guys. Oh my god, can I show you? Oh, is it gonna let me? Look at, right at me, man. Okay, no, now it's veering. Now it knows, oh no, it knows I see it. So it's just kidding. So I don't know what the duck totem is, but if you want to look into the spiritual meaning of a duck, I'm sure there's significance there. No, he's so cute. Okay, so Leo, guys, Leo. So yeah, so if you're having, you know, like if you don't know who you are, if you don't have a strong connection to yourself, then you're really going to feel lost right now. And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay to be lost. It's okay to be confused. It's okay to not know who you are, right? Because that's the whole point of all of this, is so that we can remember who we are, right? Like the whole point of coming here and being human is to forget. And then we remember. So that's okay, right? Like, it's okay. Like, that's the message here, guys. Like, it's okay. Like, everything is okay, okay? Let yourself not know who you are. Have fun getting to know who you are. Fall in love with yourself. You are trying to find a romantic partner, and you're wondering why. Why can nobody love me like I need to be loved? It's because you don't love yourself how you need to be loved. And so how is somebody going to show up in your life that's going to complement a healthy dynamic? If you don't work to build that healthy dynamic, right? So that's really what this Leo season is all about. Flame under our ass. It's a fire sign, so it's really activating us. And when we think of the solar plexus, we think of the sun. Leo is all about the eye, which is the sun, right? The sun is what gives us life here. So the Leo is kind of that energy of life, kind of being breathed back into us, but through our solar plexus, through the space that connects us right to source, okay? So that's why this whole self-worth activation is going to be coming forth, because it's going to be allowing for us to remember who we really are. The reason you don't know is because you're meant to remember, right? So it's really a beautiful thing. And again, like reining in that ego, like that voice that keeps like making fun of you or doubting you or keeping you down or whatever it is, that voice that's kind of chirping, it's time to just stop listening to it. Like that's really what it is. It's like, oh, you have a big nose. I always use the big nose example, but you have a big nose. If someone says you have a big nose and you don't have a wound about a big nose, it's not going to matter. But if you do, that's going to stay with you and in your heart for a long time until you recognize that and heal that within yourself, right? So it's the same thing, right? It's like all this is coming up to the surface just to be purged, to be cleared, to be cleansed, to be felt. That's a big one. To be felt, okay? I know that it's not fun, and I know that it hurts, but it's just going to keep hurting if we don't perpetuate what's hurting us. If we want to keep pretending like we don't see it. If we want to keep pretending like we're okay. And I say pretending, but it's that we haven't had the capacity to really step into our authentic selves, and this has been part of the learning for us to get right here to this now moment, right? So it's like, as much as it's like, oh, you didn't do it, it's also like divine timing, right? So here's another huge lesson that's going to come in with all of these messages. And oh my god, I'm at Germain Park, guys. I've never been to Germain Park. That's why this is so beautiful here. I'm going to take you on a little party, and I'm going to show you how gorgeous this is. It's Germain Park and Saint Germain and the Violet Flame. I don't know if y'all know about this. This is what I mean. Like, the synchronicities are just blowing my mind. Like, I can't stop seeing them, and I don't want to. I don't want to stop. I love it. It's just what my human needs. It makes me so happy. And I'm also gonna get into Saint Germain because I'm here at his park. And wait till I show you the fucking abundance that's behind me. I found this cute corner, but like, you just wait. Like, I have so much to show you. So it's really beautiful that I ended up here and that it all aligned. So anyway, that's a whole nother thing. I'm still on the Leo season. Okay, guys, so it started on Friday, okay? So on July 22nd, 2022, the sun moved from the emotional, romantic Cancer to the proud and fiery Leo, okay? So last month we were going through a lot of emotional stuff, especially in home, because Cancer rules the home, okay? So we've really been getting triggered emotionally a lot within our home space, right? And that allowed for us to ruminate and to have things come up and to acknowledge them and to see them and to be uncomfortable. But now that we're entering into the Leo season, that's the empowerment that comes from looking at the shadow, right? So when we look at the shadow, then we empower ourselves with the truth, okay? And so that's kind of what is going on right now for each and every one of us, and it's going to show up uniquely to each and every one of us, but that's the collective energy that's going on. We're having the collective dark night of the soul, and I don't mean to smile when I say that, but it does make me smile because it means we're healing, guys. It means that we're purging. It means that we're releasing. It means we don't need to suffer anymore. We don't need to hold that any longer. Okay? So that's why I smile when I say dark night of the soul, and I smile because that is my soul. I am the dark night of the soul, and so it's really amazing, and that is my life purpose, and this is part of all the revelations and realizations and synchronicities and alignments and understandings. It's like this past weekend, everything aligned in the goddamn universe, and I'm telling you guys, like, I know it, I feel it. So trust, whatever it is that's unfolding in your life right now, there is a plan. There is a divine plan, and this is the perfect time to mention the book that I found, book cover. Because on Friday, I was having a really intense time, and I was with some friends, and I had Kali Ma channel through me, and if you don't know Kali Ma, that's okay. I do. And it was really intense, and I went for a walk because I needed to chill the fuck out, and I don't like to bleed. I don't like to cut people because I'm bleeding. It's not my thing, and I was doing it, so I had to rein myself in, and I went for a walk, and I found this book cover, guys, and it's significant because I found the cover, okay? I'm not going to show you, you can't see it yet. I found the cover because I don't read books. Now, if you know Aurora, you know I don't read books. I have a lot of books, I buy a lot of books, I love books, but I don't read them. They're just in my vibratory field, okay? And I found this book cover, and it's titled, Life's Not Fair, but God is Good. And it's empty, and there is no book. So Source sent me this book cover specifically to me. There was a tree, like a little tree, like this maybe like this thick, not very big. This was right on the bottom, and as I'm talking to my friend when we were walking, and I'm like processing all my stuff, and I'm freaking out, this catches my eye, and I'm like, what is that? And I pick it up. It says, Life's not fair, but God is good. And I'm like, are you god fucking kidding me, universe? Like, Source, like, you are so close to me that you don't even give me the book, you just give me the cover. Right? So it's like, you know what, guys? There's signs and there's synchronicities, and it's like, are you noticing them? That's the question. Are you noticing them? Because they're always there. Source is always there. Source has never left you, or God, or the universe, whatever word you want to put on it, has never left you. You left it. That's the point. You separated from it so that you could go and have an experience of what it is to be human, or what it is to be any other species that you choose to incarnate as. And then you find your way back to Source. And then you realize that it never left you because you are it. And that's the ultimate realization that you could have. And that is self-realization. So the whole point of this is that there is no destination, guys. There is nothing to hold. There is nothing to grab. It's just living it. It's just going through it. And you know what? It's true. Life isn't fair. And God is good. Okay? And that's just something we need to surrender and accept. And it just blew my mind that I found this on the ground, and that Source gave me just the cover. Like, it was a whole thing, and it was so magical and so beautiful. And so I'm just sharing this with you guys so that you can understand how they show up, how synchronicities show up in my life, and how I'm guided. Like, I don't look anymore. Like, I'm not seeking anything, because what I'm seeking is seeking me. So I just need to stand still, and it will come. Because I'm meant to know. And that's like some deep ass trust right there, right? I know that I'm always exactly where I need to be. And these are certain lessons and certain things that you are, as a spiritual path that you're on. And the duck just came into my field again. Oh my god. Hi, baby. Let me turn. Oh no, you can't. There he is. There he is. There he is. Posing. You posing for us? Alright. So, basically, synchronicities are guiding you. Your soul is guiding you. Are you listening? going to leave it at that. And we're going to get back in to the Leo season. So what is Leo all about? So I kind of gave you the rundown of Leo, and now we're just going to kind of tap in a little bit to give you an understanding of like kind of what's going to be coming up that I haven't already channeled. So we're going to be feeling bold, intelligent, warm, and courageous. We're going to be feeling frank and honest, and we're going to be expressing our truth, our authentic truth. So that's where like this bold, intelligent, this solar plexus, this healthy solar plexus energy is going to allow for us to just be honest, to say it as it is, to be authentic, to not worry about everyone else's feelings before your own. We're learning how to put us first. That's why the Leo's all about me, all about ego, all about I, okay? So that's what we're learning. We're learning how to stop pouring from an empty cup, and we're learning how to speak our truth, and we're learning how to stand in our power, and we're learning how to take it back, and we're learning what takes our power, and we're learning about the words that we speak to ourselves, and we're learning about the thoughts that we think, and we're learning about how we actually genuinely are creating our reality. So goddamn, when are we going to take responsibility? And this is the time, this is the moment. There's going to be people seeking now. That's the whole point, is that they feel it. There's something inside of them now that's guiding them, and that's what I want you to listen to. And that's the whole point of me doing this right now, to try to get this message out, to understand that the paradigm is shifted. We're here and now in the new earth timeline, and we're here. That's why I took my hiatus, and that's why I'm back. I needed that to find myself again in all of the spiritual stuff, and to go, wait a minute, this is who the fuck I am, right? And so that's what this Leo is all about. We're going to be able to communicate. We're going to be able to say this is who I am, and we're going to be safe doing it, okay? And if you're not, then you know that that's not for you, right? So finding that delicate balance between the two. Okay, so stop oversharing your energy and focus the majority on yourself. Time to blaze yourself a new trail. Vanquish injustice and make a name for yourself along the way. So, like, I'm one that puts ripples anywhere that I go. I don't mean to, but it is just who I am. And so this is really, like, kind of bringing that in, is like, you know, you're really going to start standing up for any injustice, like, and that includes in your immediate friends, family, work, anything, and you're blazing yourself a new trail, and that's what this is supporting us on. And that's why I'm saying we're in this new earth energy of just like, you know what, I know who I am, and I know what I'm here for, and I'm gonna choose to embody that instead of being afraid all the time. And I'm gonna choose to take care of my needs, and to really show up for myself, and to really listen to myself and love myself, so that I can live a life that is full of prosperity, love, and abundance. Okay, so your inner lion is being activated, passionate, fiery, confident, and damn proud of it, okay? So then we're gonna go into the new moon now, okay? And that's on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, we are going to be, that would be the 27th, Wednesday, July 27th, 2022. We're having a new moon in Leo. So I just told you all about Leo, okay? So I don't need to go into Leo again, but I do want you to understand how the sun affects us and how the moon affects us, okay? So we have, when I tell you that we're in Leo season, I'm talking about the sun. And the sun represents the I. So the sun is actually in its home frequency, in its home frequency, right? And it represents the self, the I, the ego, okay? The moon represents and rules our emotions, okay? So when you think about the moon, you think about the ocean, you think about how it moves the tides in and out and controls the energetics of water. And water represents emotions, okay? And so that's why the moon represents emotions, all right? And so then the sun represents the ego, the self, the identity. So the new moon in Leo, okay? So the new moon, it marks the beginning of a new lunar cycle, encouraging a fresh start. So every 28 days approximately, that's the cycle of the moon going through the astrological signs, whereas the sun takes a whole year. So we'll say 365 days, 1 year, for the moon to go through an entire cycle, 1 year for the sun. I think I just said moon. That was my mistake. 1 year for the sun to go through its entire zodiac cycle. Only 28 days to go through the moon cycle of the astrological signs. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I got a little bit confused with myself because I said the wrong words. So anyway, basically the sun has a longer cycle, the moon has a shorter cycle. Okay, so just so you know, we go through the moon cycle way more often than the sun cycle. Okay, that's the point that I'm trying to give you right now. Okay, so right now we're entering into the new moon phase. And again, it's a new lunar cycle, and it encourages us a fresh start. It's a time to plant seeds for the coming cycles and to purge, shed, and clear all that isn't serving us anymore emotionally. Okay? Starting emotionally, of course, because that will ripple, right? Because emotions are energy. Energy is subtle. When you work with the subtle realms, you're able to manipulate, change the physical, because the physical is just energy. So all you're doing is really going to the essence of what this is in order to shift it. Okay, so that's kind of like what we're stepping into right now. And you don't have to understand how the universe works, and you don't have to understand all the things that I understand. All you need to do is listen to your intuition, listen to your soul's guidance, to close your eyes and tap in and listen to your heart. Like, what is your heart guiding you to do? That's all you need to know, okay? And that's why I'm so passionate about creating these, is because I do all this work for you. You don't need to go and listen to astrology and learn about all this and that and whatever. That's why you just show up once a week and you get to benefit from understanding the energies. Sorry, I thought I heard like a snake or something. I was starting to trip. Okay, so with this new moon in Leo, okay, so basically the new moon is here to plant our seeds so that we can decide, like, what is it that I want? What do I desire? And then to also let go of past seasons, because you're at the beginning of a cycle, which means you're also at the end of a cycle. So that ending is allowing you to shed, and the beginning is allowing you to plant, okay? And the beautiful thing about the moon cycles is that it's such a short cycle that every 28 days, approximately, we get to revisit every sign, and it's emotionally, right? So that's what's going to help for us to really move through. That's why it's so potent for us to work with the moon, okay? And I am going to start my new moon and full moon sound baths, so I'm really looking forward to that, as well as some group coaching calls as well that I'm going to get going as well, a weekly coaching call, just to give us a container so we show up on Zoom and we can talk about things and what's going on and share our heart and be in a safe space and make new beautiful connections and really start like anchoring in the new earth frequencies, because like we're here, right? Like that's the whole point, is like we're here whenever we choose that we are going to get there, right? In a way, because it's like, well, you have to do the work to get there, but there's no work that needs to be done in a rush because divine timing, right? So it's like there's just continually integrating all these new ideas and concepts and greater understandings and having ego dissolution, but continually, right? Because it's always changing and shifting, and we're never in the same coordinate of the universe ever. We never reach that point ever. It's only that one moment and then it's done. And that's why I'm so passionate about using this information so that we're able to really be in alignment with our organic template. All right. So let's see, what do I have here? I'm actually going to try to just bust through this so I can get into the other things. Okay, so we have diving deep into core beliefs and wounds around perception of self, okay? Now, again, I don't really need to reiterate that because I've already talked so much about Leo, right? So that's why it's around our perception of self, because it's in Leo, okay? And we're diving into our core beliefs because right here is the solar plexus, which is where the sun sits within us and fuels us and affects our worth. Sorry, I fell off the rail for a minute. And it affects our worth, right? So we're diving into our core beliefs and wounds. That's what I was talking about. That's why we're going to be sharing. That's why we're going to be talking. That's why we're going to have the confidence. That's why we're going to know who I can trust and who I can't. our solar plexus activation, so increase in confidence, and as a result, clarity will come to you with exactly what you need. Follow your inner voice only at this time. Trust your intuition. If you feel lost or confused, go within to be guided by your soul. Literally ask God or the universe for help. You cannot receive help if you don't allow it or ask for it. And then I have in brackets, God in the house story. Okay, so on Friday when I had my crazy time, I realized I was so connected that it was actually making me crazy because I was so connected. And I was like, wow, like I literally felt like Source experiencing this reality. And I was like going on and on about like because of the book cover, right? Because it got me on the word God, right? And like understanding like God is good. Yes, life's not fair, but like God is good, and I promise you that, right? And I mean that goes into the inversion timelines of God and the devil and flipping them around and making one the other and other the one, but I'm not going to get into that right now. The point of this is that I was just like saying all this stuff. I was channeling, I was releasing, I was doing what I needed to do, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, this is God. This is what God said. God said, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean I'm not here? Like, and he's like yelling at you, not like yelling, but like frustrated, like human. Like, what do you mean? Like, I gave you a house, I gave you a bed, I gave you everything. Like, why is it still not enough? Like, you sit here like you don't have anything, but look at what you're living in. Look at the luxury that you do have. It's just that you're not seeing it. And how profound is that? That is so goddamn profound, because God is like, what do you mean? Like, I'm giving you everything. I'm giving you it all. Like, I've given you everything. Like, I can't give you more than what I've given you, because even if I give you it, like, it's not going to be enough. So that's a job for you to feel within, to know that it's enough, right? And that is a journey in itself. Okay, so the point is, ask God for help, ask the universe for help. Hey, I need help. I just congratulated a client of mine for reaching out to me, to saying, hey, you kind of disappeared, like are you still doing stuff? And it's funny that he messaged me today, because I'm like, well, actually I'm restarting today. I did take a hiatus and I needed to do some work on myself, and now I'm back. So I said yes, and I said, thank you for asking for help. That's really brave and really courageous. And he said, yeah, I've really been working on that. And I think that's just so beautiful, because you can't get help if you're not going to ask for it, and if you're not open to receiving it, okay? So that's a really huge message. Yeah, and then the next thing we have is the simultaneous Tower and Death moment. Now, if you don't know tarot, that's okay, but it's pretty intense. So it means that we're having abrupt change, but it's been a long time coming. So when I wrote that, it's like the Tower moment is when everything crumbles. It's like when your foundation goes out from under you, and it's quick. Now the Death card is a more drawn out transition, okay? But it still represents change, right? And so they both represent change. The Tower is like a quick change, and the Death is like a longer change, like a more that's it, that's what I mean, a longer change. So we're and this represents going from linear to quantum, and it's kind of hard to explain in this quick little video, but I'm going to do my best, and I hope that it makes sense. So we have linear to quantum, okay? So the timelines are collapsing, right? So it's like when I say we're having abrupt change, but it's been a long time coming, the abrupt change is the Tower, and the long time coming is the Death card, okay? So like basically they're happening at the same time though, right? So we're having these Tower moments, but it's also been a long time coming. So it's like we've been asking, we've been doing the work, we've been like, you know, like, okay, like when's this gonna change, and then boom, like it's here, and then we're like, whoa, like how, like what the fuck, like let my human like catch up a bit, like and it's like, yeah, but this is what you asked for, this is what you've been wanting, and now it's divine timing, and now we're giving it all to you. And so it's like, holy shit, now we have to process and transition and get into this new place, right? So timelines are collapsing, and what that means is that beliefs that you used to have, core belief wounds, are going to be dissolving, because this is just the divine moment and the divine time that we have come to that is going to give you this access to be able to transmute it and release it and to give it back to source so that you're not carrying it anymore. And that just comes from you realizing it and you processing it and you releasing it. And so when you do go into like a downward spiral, like, stop resisting it and just be in it. It's okay. You're okay in that. It's okay. It's part of life. Okay? And then you come back out and you breathe again. And then you do it all again. And you just keep going, and you get stronger, and you get more connected to who you are, and you get more signs and synchronicities, and you meet more people that are more in alignment with who you truly are, because you're actually being who you truly are. When you're not being who you truly are, then you're not going to be attracting the people that are fully in alignment with all aspects of yourself, okay? So this is going to result in the dissolution of the ego. So stop grasping for straws. Like, stop trying to make something work that isn't working. Like, that's the real big message. And surrender. I missed that part. And surrender. So stop grasping for straws and surrender. Accept what is, so your mind and heart can stop fighting and find peace within the storm. Become the eye of the storm. Okay? So the whole idea of that, the eye of the storm, hey, which is 31:13, and 13 significant right now. Okay, the eye of the storm is, so when you have a tornado, I'm going to use a tornado as an example, it's this, like, you know, this funnel of energy. It's this moving energy that creates like a tube down the center of it, and that's what we would call the eye of the storm, and that's where there's calm within the chaos. So there's all this going around us, and we're being guided to find this place right here, right in the eye of the storm. And that is you. That's when you find yourself, and that's when you know who you are, and that's where you know what you align with, and what you love, and what you deserve, and what makes you happy, and what makes you tick. Because the only time that we're not happy or not in alignment is when we're not doing things that are working for us, and we're trying to do things that have nothing to do with what it is that we need to be doing. And that's kind of the veil that's being lifted right now, okay? So we're kind of being, like, relieved from this pressure. The pressure cooker. And that's because the Divine Feminine has arrived. And this has to do with Friday as well, with Leo season starting. It was also Magdalene's Feast Day, which I'm going to get to. And this is all significant. So that represents the Divine Feminine, right? And that's where this... That's why this confidence is coming back, because it's like the Divine Feminine has been suppressed, not just out there, guys, in here. That's why it's suppressed out there. It's suppressed out there because it's suppressed in here, which means we don't have access to that. We don't have access to her, to love, to nurture, to softness, to gentle, to understanding, to compassion. And she's back. Oh, and a little squirrel just looked at me and said, I'm not kidding. And now he's up there. And I know I look crazy, and I don't care, because the ones that fucking know, they fucking know, man. And I've always tried hiding. Look, he's looking like, guys, I'm having a whole moment. What's a squirrel mean now? Okay. Anyway. So yes, we are gaining access to our feminine again, and it's a really beautiful thing, because it means that we are accessing our emotions, our feelings. We're being heard, we're being seen by ourselves, guys. You're the one you've been waiting for. Jesus ain't coming out of the clouds. Nope, he's in you, because you are him, and that's what he wanted you to know. He just wanted you to know that you're God too. And that you deserve it all too. And that you're worthy too. And that what he's doing, you can do better. That's what he wanted you to know. You know? Not that you have to go through him to access God. That is not the goddamn fucking message. And it's coming out. And it's clear. And Magdalene is home. Magdalene is back. So, it's really exciting. And isn't this beautiful? Now I get to go into Magdalene. Oh no, I totally, okay, we're gonna go into Magdalene, because that's just intuitively what's going on. But I do really want to go through, this whole page is just for Jupiter retrograde, and it is significant. I will probably read through it because I'm already at like 35 minutes almost, and so like I'll probably just read all this, but it does need to be in here because this is a 4 or 5 month, I think 4 month retrograde, but not a bad one. It's a good one. Mercury retrograde, oh, FML, but Jupiter retrograde, actually pretty good. So let's get into the Magdalene, guys. So the Magdalene Feast Day. So the Magdalene Feast Day is celebrating Mary Magdalene, which is representative of the divine feminine, of the twin flame and ascension path, which has to do with Saint Germain, BT dubs. That's why I'm freaking out, because I'm literally sitting in Saint Germain Park right now doing this. So, you know, let's do this. I want to just touch base on Saint Germain. I had this article I pulled up right when I came in today to record this, because when I pulled in, I was like, Saint Germain, like, what the fuck? I know Saint Germain's the violet flame, man, like, but what does that even mean? I know it's like spiritual purification, and so then I have all these questions, okay? And I'm like, whoa, universe, you blow my mind. So I'm just gonna kind of skim through this and stop reading when I'm guided. Alright, so discover Saint Germain, the Wonder Man of Europe, father of world freedom and the Aquarian Age. God! Sorry, I can't. My mind is blown and I'm freaking out. And y'all see it. You see it. Okay. So the idea of the spiritual brotherhood affects people deeply. What if we could know the ascended masters today? What if it was possible to read about their stories in history? What would a spiritual master think of today's situation? How would they help mankind? We know the stories of Jesus and Buddha. Is there a master who faced a modern culture like ours? Is there someone who knows what it's like to live now? Yes, there is such a master. Yes, there is such a master, and he lived close to our time. He is the famous Count Saint Germain. Although he is written about in history books, the name of Saint Germain is still veiled in mystery, and Saint Germain is the master who revealed the violet flame to mankind. Sorry, this is really exciting to me. Okay. Am I gonna read the founding of America? What do I? Okay. I see what I'm gonna do. Okay, so the history and interactions of Saint Germain with the courts of Europe are written about in documents, letters, and autobiographies from the 18th century and beyond. The famous French philosopher Voltaire called Saint Germain the man who never dies and knows everything. Spiritual seekers discover more in the story of Saint Germain than a simple historical curiosity. Here is a mysterious gem of spiritual authenticity and true mastery. The Wonder Man of Europe, known in every royal court, was not only able to speak flawless French, English, Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese, but he was also a known expert in Greek, Latin, Arabic, Chinese, and Sanskrit. He played the violin like an orchestra, wrote poetry with one hand while writing letters with another, and memorized the courts with stories of past told as if he had lived through those times and could read some invisible record. The nobility, which he was, guys, the Kasha. Okay, sorry. The nobility whispered that Saint Germain had a mysterious elixir that kept him ever youthful and immortal. Day and night he worked as the beloved mysterious healer who visited the poor and helpless with secret herbs and remedies. He rescued the poor and wealthy alike, spreading his gospel of brotherhood and goodness. Saint Germain used these gifts of mastery to try and awaken the nobility in France to an awareness of their responsibility to bring about democratic improvements in the government without the specter of rebellion. The story of his countless attempts to reach the royal conscience is told in a number of historical works. He foresaw the ghastly French Revolution in the making and worked tirelessly for years trying to prevent it. He told Madame Ademar his prophecy while the French throne was still the strongest in Europe. A gigantic conspiracy is being formed, which as yet has no visible chief, but he will appear before long. The aim is nothing less than the overthrow of what exists, to reconstruct it on a new plan. There is ill will towards the royal family, the clergy, the nobility, and magistry. There is still some time to baffle the plot. Later, this would be impossible. These haunting words gave us a glimpse into the rising of the Illuminati, which took over the Masonic lodges with a thirst for revolution, the murder of the aristocracy, and the fall of empires. The revolution of France, Russia, and more were the terrible fruits of this group's twisted philosophy. The Wonder Man had it in mind to help effect a smooth transition from monarchical to republican forms of government. He knew the old order was passing and labored to establish a new United States of Europe before the French Revolution would ultimately leave nothing good nor bad of her royal houses. Saint Germain on Prophecy, page 33. Wow. So that is what I'm going to read about Saint Germain. And I didn't even plan this, guys. Like, this is the universe guiding me. And most people will probably be like, wow, Aurora, you're amazing. And I'm like, no, it's not me. It's not me. I'm just listening. I'm just guided. Like, this is all source. Like, I'm just listening, right? And so that's part of the ego dissolving too, right? Because really, like, I'm just listening. Like, I don't have necessarily like a motive for myself to benefit from all of this, though I do get to benefit from it, which is the whole point of connecting to source and doing this mission. But the point of it is that that's all I'm doing is just listening, and I'm a living example of what I'm trying to teach you guys as well, right? So it's all amazing and beautiful. So Saint Germain, wow. So yeah, it makes total sense why I'm sitting here and why this has to do with Mary Magdalene. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into Mary Magdalene now. So again, I'm just going to read a couple things and then I can talk a little bit, but it's just easier to just read this so that I can get the whole picture and not get thrown off on tangents, okay? So this is, I'm going to put this down below as well in the description. I'm going to put a couple of links this week so that you guys can see, because the resources that I used are actually really amazing. Yeah, I would just like for you to read them. Okay, so happy Magdalene Feast Day, July 22nd, 2022. So millions of people around the world are celebrating. Today is Mary Magdalene Feast Day. Mary Magdalene works with the energies of the Divine Feminine. Mary Magdalene is an ascended master helping to oversee things on a higher level. She stands with those who need warrior energy to deal with issues in their environment. She is a priestess of the rose. The story went much different than we had been taught. This was one of the most amazing love stories of all times. The merging of two souls into one, a mission of love and healing, trying to change the world. I'm just gonna wait while they drive by. Most of the true teachings were of twin flame union and ascension. Mary went and carried on teaching. She's a true symbol of the goddess, one that faded into the background as the patriarchy reigned. They placed the goddess with God and took control of the feminine. There's a healing taking place now for the feminine energies on the planet. As you're healing these energies within, you'll feel more and more of a call to open up to love and to serve the light. This is a sacred time for your soul here. You may be seeing red roses this weekend. If you are, take this as a special sign. Love is in the air as we are moving into the energies of the Lion's Gate. We are clearing a lot of energies and connections not serving us right now. Try to go with the flow in these energies. It was 4404 when I looked up, guys. I love it. Okay, so that's that, and I want another one that I'm going to read. So this one's actually from Jem McCarty. So Jem McCarty, if you don't know her, man, you should. So she gave us an Ascension Report from this month, July 14th, 2022. So the Twin Flame Ascension Report was from the full moon in Capricorn. and also talking about Magdalene Feast Day portals. So she was already tapped into this information. I'm living it as it's going, and that's why it's like blowing my mind. I didn't even know about Magdalene's Feast Day until it was Magdalene's Feast Day. So she is holding the flame for this very beautifully, and that's why I want to read it, because it's her mission, man. Like, she just says it's so good that I want to honor it and just read it. So this has to do with last month's 7/7 portal and next month's 8/8 portal with the Magdalene, with the fucking moon and everything. There's so many moving aspects. That's why it's so hard to really get the juice, okay? So I'm going to read this to you, and then we'll talk a minute. And then I got to talk about the galactic calendar. And today's the day at a time. So anyway, there's a lot going on. That's why I get distracted so easily. All right, here we go. Dear beautiful brothers and sisters, we come forward in this moment of your time with much news to share with your ever-evolving humanity. We have just come out of the extremely potent and life-changing 7/7 portal, and the energies that have been pouring into the earth due to the alignment with the star system Sirius have been unprecedented. We are also in the aftermath of the extremely powerful and potent full moon in Capricorn, which has affected everybody in the ascending community. This powerful full moon has brought up huge remnants of individual and collective shadow aspects, which needs to be transmitted and brought home to divine light. There is a huge emphasis currently on really deeply feeling our feelings in order to transmit them and make different choices that are not based on unconscious programming. Please know that as we align on a planetary basis towards the 8/8 portal, the energies are definitely going to intensify as the light of Sirius sun continues to burn down on us, illuminating our paths and exposing all of our shadows. Every year around the time of this portal, the pyramids and the Sphinx line up with the central Sirius sun. This activates a dispensation of spiritual light into the Earth's atmosphere, enabling us all to radically heal ourselves of core trauma and truly stabilize and become one with our higher selves. So I just want to pop in here real quick to explain to you what they just said about the sun alignment. So basically, Source or God or the Creator lives at the center of the universe, right? Talk about the Big Bang, started at one point. And that's where Source is, okay? And so Source is right here. And then anything that exists that is Source is beyond that central point, okay? And so what they're saying is that this is Source, greater central sun. Say way out here we have Sirius's sun. And then we have our sun way out here, okay? So we have the greater central sun, Sirius's sun, our sun. So they're not always aligned, because everything is continually moving, which is what I was telling you guys at the beginning, right? Where it's we'll never have this same moment of alignment ever, right? And so right now they're aligning. That's the significance. So Source, greater central sun, is aligning to the Sirius sun, which is aligning to our sun, which means we have this portal, this clear energy coming in right now, right from Source, right from God, right from the universe, man, right from love, right from creation. That's what we're gaining access to, which is bringing us back to life, breathing life back into us. That's why our shadow has to come up, because how are we going to shine so bright when we feel so small? Well, let's not feel small anymore, okay? I just wanted to say that. Okay, so the 7/7 portal is potentially the most powerful Sirian gateway we have experienced as a collective consciousness. We did phenomenal work in the 7/7 transmission, particularly with the area in Switzerland, where there were nefarious activity taking place. We removed the statue of the god Shiva, which was put there for malevolent purposes, and we replaced it with a statue of Yeshua and Magdalene, symbolic of sacred union, divine love, and creation energy in its most potent form. We also activated a ladder of gold light into the heavens, and we opened up an angelic portal, ensuring that the angelic realm would be the guardians and protectors of this sacred site. I'm very confident that the work that we did in the 7/7 transmission has 100% sealed this portal closed forever, and no malevolent or nefarious energies will be allowed to enter into Earth's atmosphere from this portal. The energies now are moving towards the Magdalene Feast Day and the day out of time. This is an opportunity for us to deeply honor the sacred divine feminine and to hold a ceremony whereby she the Queen of Heaven is fully honored for all the amazing gifts that she brings to us on an internal level and an external level. In the Magdalene Feast Day ceremony, we will ensure that the divine feminine energy is anchored into all of the sacred sites on the earth, and that the true divine feminine codes can be experienced, released, and activated within all divine feminines incarnated alive. There are many other wondrous aspects of the Magdalene transmission which will be revealed in due course. This is a huge twin flame gateway that we are currently in, and I am constantly receiving emails about people finally receiving contact from their twin flame after a period of separation. Everyone on the twin flame path must work deeply with the law of assumption. Whatever you are assuming is the reality that you are co-creating with your twin flame. If you want to shift in your experience, then shift your assumptions. Assume that your twin flame is available now, is following you on social media, and is preparing to contact you. The more you can stand in the vibration of assumption, the more you fast track your sacred union. Please see the 7/7 transmission. I speak deeply about the law of assumption and how to apply this to our lives. Always remember that we are the ones that we have been waiting for and praying for. We are the galactics, returned back to this lifetime to fulfill the promise to restore the earth back to its golden age glory. Each of us has been handpicked due to our specific spiritual gifts, and we are all here at this time to ensure victory of Mother Earth and her children. Have no fear. Fear is the absence of love. Only love exists. I hope to see you all on the Magdalene transmission on the 22nd of July. Please see below for all details. In love and eternal light, Genji and the White Wolf Tribe. So thank you, Jen, for all the work, all your service that you do. Again, I'm going to link that below, and that way if you want to connect with Jen, her work is so goddamn potent and incredible. And it just came back into my field again with all this Magdalene energy and the freaking Galactic New Year and the day at a time. And then, of course, she shows up. I've been following her for so long. I literally was Googling this information so that I could piece it all together. And Jen came up. And I was like, seriously, Jen, I love you. I didn't even know how much I love you. Now I do. Okay, so basically, guys, that's a little bit about, like, the Magdalene Feast Day and the day at a time, and the Galactic New Year. I'm gonna read a thing about the day at a time and the Galactic New Year. I just want to kind of sit here for a second and tap in and just see kind of like if anything else wants to come through for Magdalene's Feast Day. You're trying to find a solution to a problem when there is no problem. You're trying to find a solution to a problem when there is no problem. So I'll say that one more time. When you're trying to find a solution to a problem and there is no problem, that's the conundrum. That's what I'm seeing. That's the sentence that came through. And what that means is that, and actually it's tying right in with her assumption energy, right? And being the creator of your reality. And so, like, the mind is very tricksy. And the mind is the separate aspect. But we still have to love the separate aspect. So, like, the ego isn't bad, and, like, that's one of my greatest teachings. Like, the ego is here to keep us safe. It's to protect us. It's just that no one's ever taught us how to, like, love it, right? And so that's what I'm here for. And that's what Magdalene's message is coming through saying, is that you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. That's the main message. And, like, it seems so frilly, but what does it look like? It means being aware of the thoughts that you're thinking. It's like starting inside before you even look out there. It's like, what's going on in here before I start telling you that you're all the problem? Maybe I should take responsibility and go, wait, maybe it is me. And take a step back and look. Because if you don't, you're perpetuating the energy that you don't want. Because again, you're trying to solve a problem when there's no problem. Because the ego is always looking for a problem. The ego is like bored with being bored, so it creates something like a problem or an insecurity or something that's not true. And that's where we're being guided to drop into the heart and see through the eye of the heart. And know. Gnosis is knowing, experiencing. So stop looking out there. Stop looking out there. There's nothing to find. All of that is just you. So all of that is going to lead you right here. So Magdalene wants you to know to cut all the bullshit out. The roadmap is right here. Is going within your own psyche, your own heart, your own body. And asking yourself why. Why don't I love myself? What does love look like to me? Where in my life do I need to nurture myself? Where in my life do I need to slow down? Where in my life do I need to stop worrying? Where in my life am I not me? And that's where your work is. So that's what wanted to come through from Magdalene. Just to go within. Stop looking outside for the answers. And go within. It's right here. Alright guys, it's pie time. Of course it's pie time, and I'm about to read the day at a time. No big deal, no big deal. It was just 5639, which has 639 in it, which is the Fibonacci and free energy and Nikola Tesla. So that's the thing, guys. If you know, you know, and that's what I'm saying. And if you don't know, that's okay, because you're gonna know one day, or you're not, and that's okay. All right, so the wind's picking up as we talk about the day out of time, and I don't think that that's a coincidence, but it's definitely giving me some goosebumps. All right, Source. It's a little chilly for me. All right, so again, I'm going to put this article below. I'm just going to read it so that I don't butcher it. That's the truth of it. This ain't really my knowledge. This isn't like my expertise. So that's why I find it easier to just read it to you so that you can really get exactly the information that I want you to get. All right, so let's do it. Day out of time. 25th of July, 2022. Space between worlds. Each year on July 25th, we celebrate the day out of time, the last day of the 13-moon Mayan galactic calendar. July 25th marks the end of a cycle past, and July 26th is a celebration of new beginnings, a new 13-moon galactic solar year. The Gregorian Calendar. There are many calendar systems in use around the world, but the Gregorian Calendar is the most common calendar system. As an interesting side note, the name calendar comes from the Latin calendarium, the name of books used to track financial debts and payments. And in ancient Rome, the first day of the month was referred to as calends, the day when debts were due. The Gregorian calendar is a solar calendar. The length of time it takes for Earth to transit the Sun, this 365.2425 day solar calendar is broken up into 12 months, each containing an artificially allocated number of days, 28 to 31 days, with an additional day in February every fourth year, to total 365 days, or 366 days each leap year. Whilst the Gregorian calendar has a function, it does not serve the grander flow of nature, her cycles, and the real meaning of time, cycles of growth, wisdom, and evolutionary consciousness. Isn't that interesting? Do we even need to ask why they implemented the Gregorian calendar? I know, I'm an instigator. I can't help it. Okay, so the 13 moon calendar. The 13 Mayan galactic calendar is based on 13 moons, or months, each of 28 days, creating a full year cycle of 364 days. As it takes 365 days for the Earth to orbit the Sun, the 365th day of the 13 moon calendar represents the day out of time. Oh my god, that's so cool. It takes 28 days for the moon to orbit Earth, which is an average of the synodic cycle of 29.5 days, from new moon to new moon. The sidereal cycle of 27.1 days, the time it takes for the moon to reappear in the same position in the sky. When you divide our 365 solar year by 28-day lunar cycle, you get 13 moons per year plus 1 day, the day out of time. The day out of time is celebrated on the 25th of July each year, with the 26th representing the New Year's Day, a day where we emerge with an awakened sense of clarity, sacred presence, and a renewed inner purpose. Are you guys seeing how this is all aligning or what? Like, oh my god. So why the 25th and the 26th of July? Historically in ancient Egypt, the 26th of July relates to Sirius, the dog star, rising with the sun. Sirius is the 7th dimensional portal of Earth, our universal gateway, our solar gold ray of creation. The 26th July ushers in the 7th dimensional light to Earth, intense vibrational light intelligence that catapults our consciousness into a new solar cycle of evolutionary growth and awakening. The 25th of July, on the other hand, is a day, spare day, a day of no time or no thing, a day of nothing. The 25th of July does not belong to the past or the future. It is a day in between, a day of just being in the space between time. So the day at a time, July 25th. Day at a time or no time is a day for stillness, connection with eternal time, honoring time as art, a letting go of a linear passage of his story, history, and be nourished by her story, presence, and the eternal now. This day represents a space between worlds, a rainbow bridge that connects the past and the potential future in the present moment. July 25th is thus the day for letting the hardness of life fall away, sitting in awe and wonderment of the miracle of life, surrendering the nature's eternal beauty. For me, day at a time is a day of watching the sunrise, dirt under the nails, swimming in the ocean, spending time in lightress alchemy, a few of my favorite things that, to me, ignite my inner joy and cherish my time here on Earth. Day at a time is a day to express your radiance, to not be dimmed by the opinions or limitations of others. It is a day of ritual, of reflection upon the past, bringing the year to a close, and with wisdom and reverence for all you have learned, stepping into a new tomorrow of fresh new beginnings. Day at a time is the most wondrous day to make shifts in your life, shifts in mindset, shift in beliefs, shifts in who and what you may have thought yourself to be. A day to sit in prayer in the present moment for who you wish to be in the world. Wow, guys, that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. So that's the day at a time, and Mary Magdalene, and Saint Germain, and Leo new moon, and Leo season. I think that was everything I talked about. And the Galactic New Year, okay? So, there you are. That's it. Look, guys, it was only an hour and 4 minutes that it took me. That's impressive. I'm impressed with myself. Okay, so, basically, now I'm going to just pull a couple cards, but we are going to be super quick. I have 3 decks that are already laid out. Now, the first one, of course, I had to pull this, the Divine Feminine. And then this one called me, because it's a friend of mine's deck. We kind of put all of our decks together, and so I get to play with some that I wouldn't normally play with. And then my OG, the Sacred Geometry Activations. And you know what? I am seeing this one now that's calling me as well. And the Lightworker Oracle. So we are going to just kind of dive in and see what wants to come through. I think first I want to start with the activation, sacred geometry activation. So let's do it. Look at that right on the bottom, guys. And it's 444, an hour and 4 minutes and 44 seconds. Okay, so what needs to come through for this week, please? Calling in my higher self, pure higher self, source, all guides and beings of 100% pure love and light. Whoa, not that many. Let's do 3. I'm hearing 3. We're just gonna do 3. Whoa, that was huge. Sacral. Okay, guys, talk about feminine, the divine feminine, okay? So this is it. This is the sacral coming through. This is your emotions. This is your space of creation. This is your life force energy, okay? And I realized that. I'm like, oh my god, this is where we produce our life force energy. Like, of course, that's why they freaking demonize our sexuality, right? So that's what's really going to be coming up. And the emotions are very connected in with sacral as well, right? So it's like sitting with your emotions. What did Magdalene say? What did Saint Germain say? Like, what are all these ascended masters saying? Like, why are they saying it, right? And so maybe start listening, right? Listening to your womb. Listening to your womb. So the frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. Beautiful. Authority reversed. The frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. Nice. So guess what? This is a perfect depiction of the reality that we're living in. Authority has inverted the truth, guys. So that's what we're all learning right now. And it's a painful process. And that is why we're being asked to hold that space for our emotions, to hold that space for our pain and our suffering. Because, shit's pretty fucked up. I'm just gonna say it. Shit's fucked, okay? And so, what you were taught is authority is not authority. Somebody that has power over you and that makes you feel this big, that's not authority, but that's what we've been taught authority is. To belittle people. To be better than people. To think you always have to one-up them. Okay? To think that you have authority. Or think that you don't have authority, sorry, that's what I meant to say. To think that you don't have authority. You have authority. You're fucking taking that shit back right now, okay? And last but not least, belief. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. And look, it's an 11, master number, connecting us to the high priestess. So, oh my god, guys, we have 11. We have 2, which 1 and 1 is 2. So 11 and 2, these are the same freaking, numerologically the same card. And 10, which represents 1 and 0, which is the holographic binary universe that we live in, which is fine if you don't understand what that means, but if you do, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so who are you giving your power to? Tap into your emotions and understand the belief behind the emotion. That was beautiful. Thank you. So there's that. Okay, now we're gonna get into the Lightworker Oracle. Oh my god, that duck is still here, guys. As you can see, where did he go? There. He's still going hard. Okay. Alright. So now we are working with the Lightworker Oracle. Again, we're gonna pull just 3 cards, just so that we can... It just makes me so happy. Alright, let's see what wants to come through. Yeah. Is that it? That's the show? Alright, let's do it. Third ray of creative intelligence. And I pulled it in the same spot as sacral, guys. Oh my God. Okay, so here it is. Confirmation. Third ray of creative intelligence. So the sacral is hand in hand with creativity, okay? And so this is, again, just confirming to work with this energy. So how? I guess we're going deeper now, because this card wants me to invite you to go and actually start creating something. And that can be scary when we have so much doubt, fear, judgment, and lack of connection to ourselves. But that is going to help you to reconnect to yourself. And not only that, transmute your shadow. So what that means is to literally like take something and create it into something else. So take an emotion, a lower emotion or a lower belief, transmute it, change it to a higher belief. And so this is the process. If you're like, well, how do I do that? This is the process, is tapping into your creative intelligence, tapping into the parts of yourself that birth new realities, baby. And so you haven't been able to because you didn't know that you could, and that's okay. But the whole point is that, you know, divine timing, we're in the moment now for you to be kind of uncovering and healing these aspects. Okay, well, let's see what wants to come through with authority then. Oh, two of them. The reassurance of the golden light and seventh ray of ritual, order, and ceremony. Oh, gorgeous. Okay, so where's your power, right? And so this one is really asking you to, I'm sorry, this duck is right. Like, I gotta show you guys. Coming out with me. He's right here. Now he knows. Okay, I'm gonna talk. Look, he's so cute. Oh my God. Okay, so the seventh ray of ritual, order, and ceremony. So the reason that I pulled this, and it's 44, and 4 is all about foundation, and 2 of them is just even more powerful, and then 4 and 4 equates to an 8, and 8 is all about infinite energy. So we're learning how to tap in and ground into this infinite energy portal, right? And so, like, look at this card here that we have. Like, so you're being asked for true devotion to your spiritual path here, right? And to liberate yourself free from all pain and suffering that you've been carrying, okay? And then this one came through reverse. So this is reassurance of the golden light, okay? And look, it's 36, and 3 plus 6 equates to 9. So there's that 369 coming through again, okay? And it's reversed, so like you're struggling, and that's okay. I can see that. Source can see that. God can see that. But you need to keep connecting back to you. That's the reassurance of the golden light, is connecting back to you, and then creating rituals, ceremonies, honoring this aspect that you're now giving authority to. You're now giving your authority back to yourself by believing in yourself, reassurance of the golden light, and creating new habits, practices, ceremonies, rituals that allows for you to really connect to the divine and to know that you are source incarnate. Okay, and then last but not least, we're gonna see what comes out for belief. Are you kidding me, guys? Look. Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. Now, if you know anything about Raphael, I'm not sure much about Hilarion, to be honest. I would have to look a bit more, but if he's working with Raphael, he has to do with healing. Raphael is the healer archangel. So look at this beautiful gateway that you're being invited into. It's like, hey, look at this beautiful place that you can come to heal and to really remember who you are, right? We have belief, right? Remember, that's what we're talking about right now. So we're asking and inviting you to heal those beliefs, which then means that you don't have to carry it any longer. And with that, we got the fourth ray of harmony reversed, okay? Because this is representing the resistance to harmony, and that's the ego being addicted to drama and trauma and you know, not having the support that you've ever needed, feeling like, look at this energy coming from his crown that is leaking when it's reversed. And when it's upright, it's connecting to source, but when it's inverted, it's leaking. And it's number 6, and 6 is all about material or spiritual. That's why they say 666 is the devil. Well, 6 is only the devil if you're not focusing on the spiritual matters at hand and only the physical. So, in order to heal your beliefs, you're being guided to heal them. To sit with them and to work with them and to call in these guides that are going to help you. And it's going to access your heart center, right? That door in this one, the door in this one is being affirmed. Oh, look at that stretch. That was good. Affirmed by the door on his heart here. Okay. I love this duck. Hi, duck. I'm so glad you're hanging out with me. Okay, so there you have it. That's from those ones. So we're shifting our beliefs. We're shifting from the physical to the spiritual. We're learning how to see beyond the material so that we can know like what actually resonates with us and what doesn't. And now we're going to get into a couple Archangel Michael cards. And then Divine Feminine. And then I'm going to go eat some food, sis. I'm getting hungry. Alright, Archangel Michael, please come through to give us the message this week. Pay attention to your dreams reversed. Thank you for tucking me into bed tonight and helping me enjoy a wonderfully restful night's sleep. Archangel Michael, I invite you into my dreams as my teacher, guide, and healer. Please allow me to understand this, in bracket, describe a situation on a spiritual level and give me guidance. Okay, guys, so this is for our creative healing of the womb, clearing out past trauma, guilt. So again, deeper, you're like, well, how do I heal this? Work on your creativity, work on getting creative. What do you mean? Well, then this is more specific. Pay attention to your dreams. Your dreams are your subconscious, and that's where you store everything. And that's the place that you live from without awareness. You don't know what makes you tick yet, and that's okay. And you're learning. And how do you know? Like, your dreams are going to start telling you. That's your subconscious. So keep listening to that nudge. Keep listening to your dreams. Keep wondering why. Why? Just keep wondering why. And then for the next one, we have your home is protected by angels. Archangel Michael, thank you for watching over my home and its inhabitants. I ask that you post guardian angels at each window and door, ensuring its security. Thank you for guiding my finances so that I can easily afford to pay rent, mortgage, and taxes. Do you guys hear that? This authority card that had all this power over us, now we just got this one, which is that we're protected and that we have a safe home and that everything's going to be okay. And that's why you got to start connecting to the reassurance of the golden light and creating more order, ritual, and ceremony in your life so that you can truly connect with the divine and really, truly, genuinely know that, like, God damn it, you are God incarnate and we deserve so much more than what we're having. So let's heal and let's do it. Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay, so your home is protected. You are protected. Each window, door, everywhere that has an exit or an entrance is protected by the archangels, and you always have money to afford your rent, your mortgage, or your taxes. And last but not least, positive thoughts create positive results. All right, so let's go back here again. We're working with the belief here. We're starting with the belief, and then we're like, okay, you got to heal that. It's time to heal that. And then we're like, oh shit, that door that I was walking through was my heart and my mind. Opening my mind, accessing my heart, connecting to source, clearing out beliefs that just don't serve me and implementing new ones. And then this card just magically comes out. Positive thoughts create positive results. Divine love and wisdom, I call upon you now. I know that my mind and emotions are eternally and continuously connected to you. I ask my higher self to be aware and conscious of the love and light that is within every person and situation. Oh, whoa, we got a close friend. Look at Alright, so now we're gonna pull one more card from this, and then I'm gonna go and show you guys the this beautiful garden that I found myself in. And yeah, and then I'll see you next week. What? Are you hungry or something? Like, can I help you? Thirsty? Thirsty? You're thirsty, aren't you? I think you're thirsty. Okay, let me finish my energy update, and then I'll see if you're still around. Okay, so I'm just going to call in one card from this deck, and I'm going to read a little snippet out of the book, and then we're going to call it a day. That was the one I was calling in. That's the main reason I picked this deck, guys. So Mary Magdalene came through, and I didn't do that. Like, I was just shuffling, and here we are. The Apostle of Apostles. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. And then we have Aquilanda, the goddess of never not broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. This is intense, guys. The goddess of never not broken. I never even thought of that archetype existing. But someone has to be that archetype. Wow. So, this one came out first, and then this one came out right after. Like, it pulled out with it, but it didn't, like, come with it, but it, like, got pulled out a bit. That's why I grabbed it, and I was like, oh. So, this is how she's felt for a long time. Broken. Never not broken. And so, this is just showing us that this is kind of the energy that we've been in. And I'm not even going to read the book because it's so obvious, the message to me. Never not broken. That's how the feminine has been for a very long time. But she's returned. The Apostle of Apostles, bridging heaven and earth. Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Let's get all my cards covered so the wind doesn't blow them away on me. And then, guys, look, I made a friend. Look at, I have a friend. Okay, so, oh wait, I gotta go this way. Okay, are you guys ready to see Saint Germain Park? Let me take you on a journey. So that's where I found my spot. And look at the duck being all cute and shit. Oh my god, I just love it. Okay. So this is heaven on earth in motherfucking Sarnia, Ontario. And let me tell you, okay? I literally work around the corner. And I have never been here, or used to work around the corner. Never been here in my life. Ryan, my boyfriend, we were gonna have some food the other day. And I said, I'll take you to a park, baby. Let's go to the park and have our foods. Well, I drove right by this one, and he was like, oh, I thought you were going to take me there. And I was like, no, I know where I'm going. And I took him to the worst park I probably ever could have. And then he made fun of me. And I was like, baby, why didn't you just tell me that we could have come to Saint Germain? I didn't think about it. And now that I'm here, having my energy update and this whole experience, I totally understand why I brought him to that park, because of the energy of it, the energetics of it. I was like, oh, here, I'm going to take you to a place to eat. And I wasn't really thinking too much about it. I was like, it was around the corner from my house. And I was like, yeah, like, let's just go to that one. And then we're here and we're just around the corner. And he made fun of me. And I didn't understand why. He's like, there's like a whole flower garden. And I was like, well, actually, no, I didn't. I've lived here for 13 years, guys. But that's what happens when you're stuck in your goddamn mind and you think that the world sucks. You stay in that belief. You stay in that reality. Little did I know that this whole time I could have come to St. Germain Park. But that is the cosmic joke, is that I wasn't meant to yet. And that's the whole point, is that heaven on earth is gonna come. It's here. It's a frequency. It's like, are you seeing it? Are you choosing to see the beauty